So welcome everyone. This is part 2 of the HyperNation community presentation. And what I'm going to cover now is what happens when you share a HyperNation citizenship with people that you know. And what I would recommend is share it when you understand it. Share it when you understand the concept and what we are trying to build here. So just a reminder, you buy your citizenship, you put 1 in and get up to 3 times out. A lot of this we can teach you along the way, and this is a part of the journey, is learning and understanding. These are the packages that are available. Occupational welfare at 400 HND, social welfare at 1200 HND, and financial welfare at 4800 HND. And HND is HyperNation dollar, which is the equivalent of 1 USD. You'll get up to 0.7% of the daily fixed release of the principal sum. So let's dig a little bit deeper into contribution points. Why contribution points and what's the meaning behind them? I'm not going to sit here and read all of this word for word, but let's just discuss what the meaning behind it is. Because guess what? In any society, if you don't contribute, you get nothing. That's only fair, isn't it? You know, if you do nothing, you get nothing. So what's important is all that HyperNation is asking for is that you contribute. Now, if you're sharing this idea, and this concept has been used all over the world, you know, we all share ideas. And in a way, any company that's advertising is sharing their product. There's nothing wrong with sharing something. So what happens is you will receive contribution points for logging in, but you also receive contribution points for sharing with your team members or your community that you're building. Now, what's happened in the past in other situations is somebody will come in, introduce 3-4 people, and then sit back and do nothing because everybody else is contributing and they're building a nice community for the first person that introduced them. Yep, that's doable. There's nothing wrong with that, but it also is not a fair system. We want a fair system where everybody is contributing, regardless of what they're doing. And what we're going to go through now is how the contribution points can affect your ranking. So we all have rankings. You know, we all start from the bottom, we get a job, we want to get a promotion. That's part of life, isn't it? We all want to progress. We all want to feel as if we've achieved something. So you start off at V0, which is your national level is basically V0. And for that, there's no community performance, no contribution points. When you share this concept with friends, family, people you know, and you achieve 50,000 in your community performance, you then hit V1. We'll go into what that does further down the road. And you also need 8,000 contribution points. So what this is telling you now is if you were a V5, which means you did 2 million in community performance, but you only contributed by 41,500 contribution points, you would be downgraded to a V3. And guess what? How many times have you gone to work or work for a company and there's a manager who's above you who literally does nothing and gets paid more than you, and you know more than they do? That's not a fair system, is it? They're not contributing. And this is what HyperNation is trying to fix by using this idea of contribution points. So your contribution points expire every 45 days. So if you don't keep contributing, you keep dropping down. And I think that's an amazing concept. So the 3 rewards that are available are citizen referral reward, a community ranking reward, and an equality reward. So let's have a look at the Citizen Referral Reward. Pretty straightforward. You share the idea. And I know some people might think, oh, I don't want to tell anyone. I don't want to harass people. We're not asking you to. What we're saying is, first, understand what we're building. Understand the concept. Understand, where we are heading into, what we're showing you. Once you like it, just like a good movie or a great meal, then you might tell somebody. Even if you're not that way inclined, you'll probably share it with someone because you're excited by what's happening. And there's nothing wrong with that. And as your team grows, you will receive a Citizen Referral Reward from the first 3 levels and onwards. So let's just take a quick look at that. So as V0, you're entitled to 3 levels of rewards. So those 3 levels are level 1, 2, and 3 on the left. And on level 1, you'll receive 20%, level 2, 15%, and level 3, 10%. When you reach V1, national level, that opens up the next 3 levels, and you will then earn from level 1 through to 6, and so on. So once you hit something like, say, V7, you will open up 20 levels of your community. Just think of how a community can grow just by telling a couple of people, then you help them. And, that's part of your responsibility is if you're sharing something with someone, take responsibility for it. Just like if you recommend a good restaurant, if they don't like it, then you say, well, sorry, I thought it was okay. So your national level, this is how the Citizen Referral Reward works. And here's an example of a Citizen Referral Reward. Number 1, there's you, and you bring in Mr. A, who buys a 4,800 HND package as financial welfare. Now, you will receive 6.72 HND daily. So they get their financial welfare, 0.7%. So they will get 33.6 HyperNation dollars every day. And 20% of that is 6.72. Now, what you have to realize is the 6.72 doesn't come out of what they receive. This is a reward that's given to you from your existing package, your citizenship that you purchased. So you'll get your citizenship rewards faster. Let's take a look at level 2. So Mr. A brings along Mr. B, and that person also buys a 4,800 HND financial welfare package. You will then receive 5.04 HND daily from that person. So the total then you will get is, with A plus B, is 11.76 HND per day. And that's every day that they are a citizen and they are active within the system and they're doing their rebuys or whatever it is they're doing. They are active for that period of time. As long as their package is active, you have a citizen that you will earn rewards from. And don't forget, these rewards are in addition to what you've already received from your own package. So you don't get anything on top. This is not commission. Let me just stress that. It is not commission. And basically, this is where you look into your account, and as you can see, it says Citizen Referral Reward, and you'll get a breakdown of where your rewards are coming from, how much you're receiving each day. So the next part, the community reward, is divided into 2 categories. There's the community ranking reward and an equality reward. So each one is based on the difference in the national level and also the same. I know it sounds a bit complicated, but let's have a look at what it actually means. And funny enough, I've managed to shrink the slide, but there we go. So the example of community ranking reward is, let's say you are a V4 and you've got 2 or 3 teams growing underneath you. Your first team is your biggest team and they're growing quite rapidly and they've got a big community growing. Their ranking or their performance doesn't count towards community ranking. Only the other members do. So based on the daily release, if your national level is V4 and your downline is V3, then you'll receive a 3% community ranking reward. If, for example, and the example of that is your downline is financial welfare, 4,800 HND, you're a V4 at 6%, they're a V3 at 3%, you will receive the difference, which is 3%. So that's 1 extra HMD per day. But guess what? As you're growing your community, all this is just adding to what you're receiving. So these are the different levels, and this is what you receive. So as you hit V0, you get nothing because obviously you've just started. Once you hit V1, you'll receive 0.5%. At V2, you will get 1% from your community ranking reward. And don't forget, that discounts the largest team that you have. V3 at 3% and so on. So as you rise up the ranks, you will receive more based on the community that you are helping to build. And this is what it looks like in your account. You'll go to the next tab, which is the community ranking reward, and you'll get to see the performance, and you can track how your community is growing and how you're doing. So the equality reward, and I think even this stumped me for the first couple of weeks, is a unique way of looking at things, which is if you go back to the previous levels, it would actually make more sense to keep your community where they are and not help them to grow. But this is where the equality reward comes in, because once your communities have reached the same rank as you, you will receive a 1% equality reward. So you helping your community to do exactly what you've done and reach exactly the rank that you've reached, there's an added bonus to that. So this is purely based on helping your community to achieve the most out of this. So again, thank you for attending this presentation. We hope this has been of use and you've got a better understanding of what HyperNation is building. Let me just stop the recording.